So, für alle, die es noch nicht verstanden haben, dafür sind wir ja da, das ist überhaupt kein Problem.
Consciously, well, that would be a question that someone else would answer. I tend to think that in his megalomania, he thought that he was sui generis and that he was a phenomenon that had no other parallel. But certainly when we look at the career of Dietrich Eckhart, his familiarity with the Kabbalistic Chokhmah or world spirit, and we begin to see the outlines of Hitler's magical thinking that led him to so many disasters. People tend to emphasize his rebuilding of the economy in Germany, which, by the way, was done with cooperation of so-called Aryan, I put that word in quotes, Aryan banks. Yes, he drove Judaic banks out of business, but he relied on Aryan usurers and so-called Aryan industrialists for that economic miracle, which, by the way, was predicated on the building of a war machine and with the intent of making war in the East against the Slavic people. So it isn't quite the economic miracle that has been presented to us. But then once the war begins, and we see this magical thinking in effect, particularly with the invasion of the Soviet Union, that's when I see the hallmarks of his magical training. And I will add here, Mr. Kelly, that the two leading attributes of the Kabbalistic praxis is self-worship and the creation of a human and subhuman dichotomy. So what we have is that Adolf Hitler substituted for the worship of Jesus Christ, which the German people have been largely engaged in since Christianity first came to the Teutonic people, for the worship of the German people. And then, of course, he created Kabbalistically the